everybody, and welcome to another Johnny 1388 production. Woo! Yeah! Get excited. Or not. Depending if you like my stuff or not. Yes. So, as you can all see, I'm back out on the mighty Fendt 1050. And I'm doing a little bit of subsoiling. So now I'm back after Christmas. Some of my list of jobs is to get the land ready for drilling come the springtime. So the particular field I'm in at the minute was a cauliflower field, which was planted back in the summer, harvested in the autumn time, and during the winter it's been grazed off by our organic sheep. So now I've come back after Christmas. It's my job to get this field ready now for drilling. So taking you through the process. So I'm in here now. The sheep have been moved off to some different land to graze. The sheep have left behind. There's not too much they've left behind. The sheep tend to really enjoy the cauliflower leaves. Basically they'll graze off most of the plant, and what's left is just really the dead leaves that had fallen off the plant already from when it was harvested, and a little bit of regrowth that you get with brassica crops and fresh vegetables, because when the plant's harvested, the plant isn't killed, it carries on growing a little bit, so you do get a small amount of regrowth on the plant after it's been harvested. And yeah, so there's the cauliflower stalks, some dead leaves on the ground, so the subsoiler is set at 16 inches deep, and we're just breaking that pan up, and I'll be coming into the field and ploughing it with our 10-footer Cavernan plough. So enough of me waffling on like I normally do. So we'll have a look at these screens, and we'll just have a quick recap on watching the subsoiler work from the last video. I'll just put a few clips in so you can just see as it lifts the soil. In fact, I'll put that in now with the power of clever editing. So you can see now that's the times the legs lifting the soil up. And then if we move back, you'll be able to see the roller packing the soil back down. And what that's doing, that's lifting all the soil up, cracking the soil profile, making hairline cracks in it, enabling the roots of the crop to get its roots down and just alleviate any compaction that might be there. Now, so as you can tell, well, as you can probably tell on the video, I'm subsoiling this field at an angle. And the reason I'm subsoiling at an angle is if anybody's done any ploughing and has followed a subsoiler and gone the same direction as a subsoiler, you know, it can cause a few problems with the plough, because what tends to happen is that the plough always likes to follow the path of least resistance. Ploughs do pull, you know, from side to side on the back of a tractor, and if you subsoil the same direction, sometimes you've got to. There's no option. There's no option. It's not. This isn't. Again, everything I say isn't set in stone. It's not golden rules. It's nothing like that. I'm not trying to tell you how to do the job. I'm just sort of saying how I'm doing it as I'm doing it. The plough tends to follow the path of least resistance. So if your furrow is just slightly off of where the subsoiler leg went down, the subsoiler, the plough is always going to want to pull into the groove that's been left by the subsoiler leg. And hello, Rob. You alright? It's my mate Rob, who works for the drainage board. I used to work with him a while ago. Good bloke. Anyway, what was I saying? Yes, it always tends to follow the path of least resistance. So going in the same direction, the plough can pull one way, pull the other, and it can make things matching up a little bit difficult. Right, so we're on my dinner break now. And I thought I'd take you through the old settings on the screen. So here we are. This is the control terminal for the 1050. You've all seen it before. So I thought I'd just go through some settings on here that I've got. That I've got them set at. So top one here is your linkage height. So that's you can adjust how high the link arms will lift the linkage up. So if you don't want it to lift it all the way up,
You can set it to a percentage. 100% is maximum, 0% is the minimum. So if, say for example, you've got a power harrow on and you don't want to lift it all the way up, you want to keep it quite close to the floor when you're turning, you can set that. So when you press your lift, wherever you've got it set, either set on these or set down here, it'll only lift up that desired height. Now because the subsoil legs are quite long, I have it set at 100%, so it lifts it all the way out. So the next one further down is the this one here is the raise speed. So this is you can adjust how quickly the link arms will lift the linkage up at the back. So obviously again 0% up to 100. Now with the subsoiler, I've got it set at 70% because when I pull in and out at the end of the field, when lifting the subsoiler up, I don't want it to come like out the soil straight away, just to lift it up at 100%, just woof, because what will happen is it brings all that subsoil up to the top, and obviously, like I said in the previous subsoiling video, all that wants to stay beneath. You want the topsoil on the top, the subsoil in the sub. So I've got that set at 70%, so it's just a gradual lift. So as I'm moving forward with the subsoiler, there's two ways I'll do it. I'll either carry on moving forward and lift the subsoiler up slowly, so it slowly cuts its way through the soil, or I'll be reverse and lift it up as I'm reversing, so it's going up slowly through what it's already done, and it doesn't tend to bring up a load of that subsoil. Second one down there is the drop speed, so the how quickly your linkage will drop to the floor. So that one there, I've got that set at 50%. So again, it's sort of the same thing, just in reverse. So I want the subsoiler to slowly go into the ground as I'm lowering it in, as I'm going down the next run. So it's not putting too much instant like pressure on the tractor. It's not forcing it into the ground. It's just doing nice and gradually in. So there's no drama. It's just nice and progressive. So underneath on Fendt, you can have your rear linkage pressured. So you've got your downward pressure here, which is a button. You can turn on and turn off if you want to. Now I've got the arms in float at the minute, so the only thing sending the arms down at the minute is the weight of the implement. But you can, for certain applications, not that we really need to ever really use it, you can force the implement, whatever you've got, into the ground. You can adjust the pressure. So you click on that, turn it on, you can increase the pressure. So I click on it, so that's down. You can increase it all the way up to 50 bar, which is an incredible amount of pressure, but I'll put that back to note, where it goes to 3 bar as standard. So I'll turn that off because I do not need it. Then underneath there, right there, that's sort of Fendt's version of draft control. Now normally your draft control would work off of your rear linkage, either lower link sensing or top link sensing, but on the 1050, I don't know if it's the same on all Fendts, but it's a transmission load, so it monitors how much torque, how much load is being put through your transmission. And what that'll do, that'll lift the linkage arms up or down depending on the load of the transmission. So it's a little bit different to like standard draft control, but for this operation, for this subsoiling, because we've got a packer roller on the back, I'm not using drafts. So now there's all these other ones on the side, so you can lock your linkage, unlock your linkage, set your priorities for your linkage underneath there. So you can set, this is like a service function, so the tractor can actually lift itself up and down on the linkage, lift itself off the floor. So the one there we've seen underneath it, the downward pressure, and this one takes you through to another menu, and this is one that I do use. So we've got the this is the like wheel slip monitor here at the top. Yeah, so it monitors the amount of wheel slip in a percentage. So if it was at 100%, that would be 100% wheel slip, you'd be going nowhere. And at 0%, you've obviously, your wheels aren't slipping at all. Now tractor tyres are designed to have a certain amount of wheel slip on them because it helps with the self-cleaning effect of the tyres. So you're sort of really looking at, you know, 10%, anywhere between 10%, you know, 0 and 10% for your wheel slip is pretty much ideal. Now conditions aren't always ideal, and field, you know, soil types and things vary, so your wheel slip monitor is all the time going up and down. It's always, you know, climbing about. Now I've got mine set at 30%, and the other reason I've got it set that high at 30% is because this field that we're in at the minute, it's a 52-acre field, and in parts of it there's some high ridges, and they're quite sudden. So it goes from like a nice loose sort of black soil onto some like red clay banks, and they come along quite sudden. So when the tractor's going down the field, when it hits that clay bank, obviously it's going to take an awful lot more force to get through it. And I've just got it set at 30% wheel slip, so just momentarily it'll possibly get to that percentage, and it'll just ease the linkage out a little bit, just to sort of give the tractor a little bit of time, give the TMS on the tractor enough time to react, so it doesn't, I don't get that sort of effect. I just keep the forward motion going. Now that figure, that percentage will change all the time. That's completely and utterly dependent on field conditions and what you're doing. So that what I've got to set at 30% there, if I'm doing another job in a different field, it'll be set at something completely different. 30% is the absolute maximum that I'll go to, but I'm not suffering with wheel slip in this field. I'm just using that just to keep me, when I get to those strong clay patches, just to keep the tractor just moving. It only really just nudges the linkage up. It just flashes up to 30, and then it'll just lift it a little bit just to keep me going. So that's the limited wheel slip, which is something that I do use a lot, really, because you've got the ability for the tractor to automatically stop wheel slip, because obviously excessive wheel slip causes compaction, which is what we don't want. So being able to set a maximum amount of wheel slip before the tractor does something about it is really handy, and pretty much most modern tractors will have some form of wheel slip. Underneath is your sort of your how aggressive it will react. So right up to the top at 100%, it'll react quick. Your linkage will be up, down, up, down, up, down. It'll be going about all over the place. And right down at the bottom there, it'll be reacting really, really slowly. So I sort of want that in the middle. I've got it set in the middle. Again, that's something that varies. You can change from field to field. Literally, it's all dependent on conditions. So yes, that's at 50%, just to keep me, just keep it nice and smooth, nice and even. So to activate the wheel slip is that button there. So when it's lit up like that, it means it's on. And again, for my linkage controls, so that's my linkage controls there. I haven't lowered the subsoiler right the way down to the bottom. I'm just carrying it ever so slightly just to keep it nice and level, and sort of so the top link's floating a little bit. That's the up and down there for your rear linkage. That's the up and down there for your front linkage. These dials here obviously set the depth of your linkage, so it won't go, this isn't your height, this is only depth, so it'll only go that far down. You can set a certain percentage on the screen, which will show up here. And then that one again for your top link, so you don't always have to lower something right to the ground. You can carry it a little bit, or if it needs to be set at a certain depth, obviously set a certain depth. And that is again something that's on pretty much every tractor. So this is something that's been about for a while, but on old school tractors it was a bit different to this. Sometimes you just have a lever, you'd have some screws that you'd screw, so you couldn't push the lever any further forward than that. So that is the basic settings for what I've got the tractor set at. Now again, this is not, I've said it so many times, I am not the best tractor driver in the world. I'm far from it. Far from it. I've got under no illusions whatsoever that I am actually good at anything that I do. I'm just purely showing you how I've got it set. Other people might not do half of that, or might do even more than that. It's just, yeah, it's just how I do it. I really need to reiterate that I don't think I'm the best at this. I just like making videos and to do things a little bit differently from other people that make the videos. I just like to go a little bit more in depth, maybe a bit, show you the sort of more technical sides of it. So yeah, please don't think I'm trying to say that I'm the best tractor driver, because I'm not. Because I'm really not. Ask anybody that works for me. Right, so just to show you how the wheel slip monitor works, I've just put the subsoiler in the floor now, so when I set off we will get a little bit of wheel slip, so I just wanted to show you how it monitors that. Now when I've sort of got it set now, so I'll get a little bit more wheel slip than I normally would, only for like a short distance, just to show you how this works. So I'm going to set off now. There you go, and you can see the monitor now flicking up and down, so at 0% there. So you can see it's always monitoring the wheel slip, constantly changing all the time. So I just wanted to I'll stop now. So now stop, we're at 0. So I just wanted to show you that actually working up and down. That's just showing you, because I've set those settings on the screen. So now I'm coming to my headland turn. I've got my linkage set on the go and end 1 buttons, the big ones in the middle. So I'm just going to come up to the headland, slow down a bit, press the end button, and the subsoiler's slowly being lifted up at the back, so it doesn't yank up a load of the subsoil. I'll do my headland turn, just turn it into my next run, pressing the other go button to engage the auto steer, pressing the other go button to lower the linkage down, so the linkage is slowly lowering down. It's in the floor, you can hear the tractor just rev itself up. Click the lever to the right, the tractor's going to speed up now and get to 12k and maintain that speed by altering the engine revs as we tootle off down the field. Right, so moving on to the shout-outs then. Now we've got a few to do. So the first one on the list is for Michael Foster and his daughters Maisie and Phoebe. So thank you ever so much for watching, Maisie and Phoebe. I've been speaking to your dad a little bit on Messenger, and it turns out he likes to keep his tractors as clean as I do, or maybe even more clean, because I have never ever seen a tractor as clean in my life as his. So I'm a bit jealous. Yeah, so thanks ever so much, Phoebe, thanks Maisie, thanks Michael, and thanks Michael for suggesting new cleaning products, because I'm always up for that, as you know. So thanks for watching, guys. Right, so the second one is for Oliver Hughes and his mum and dad, Rachel and Richard. Now, Oliver went to the Lama show on Tuesday, but unfortunately I wasn't there. Because his mum, Rachel, sent me a message asking if I could give him a go up and say hello. Obviously I wasn't there, so I said to Rachel I'd like to say hello to him on one of my videos. Now me and Oliver's got a little bit in common. Oliver's born in January the 19th, and he turns 3 on the 19th of January, so happy birthday Oliver for the 19th. And I was also born in January, on January the 13th, so it's my birthday soon as well. And Oliver loves Fendt 1050s. His mum Rachel kindly sent me this picture of Oliver in a Fendt 1050, which we'll have a look at now. And he also likes wearing meanie hats, which is fantastic, because I do as well. So thank you ever so much for watching, Oliver, and I hope you have a really, really great birthday. And maybe someday in the future you'll get to drive a 1050 of your own. Fingers crossed. Cheers, Oliver. Thanks, Rachel. Thanks, Richard. Alright, so the third one is for Thomas. So I met Thomas at the Lima show on Wednesday, and Thomas kindly asked if I'd like to sign his football, and it made my day. So I just thought I'd have to give you a little shout out here, Thomas, just to say thanks for coming up to me. Thanks for asking me to sign your football. It really did make my day, and thanks ever so much for watching my videos. And I hope you had a really good day as well. I did. I really enjoyed myself, so I hope you did as well. And I went to the JCB stand and had a look, and I've got to agree with you. So, alright Thomas, thanks ever so much for watching, and I hope you like the videos that are going to come up in the future. Right then, last but not least is a YouTuber. Came across this YouTuber, Anthony Farming, who comments on my videos. He's also got his own little channel.
left a comment and said, have you checked out this channel? And I hadn't. So I went out to have a look at the channel, and I was really impressed. Really impressed. It's a girl called Toria Louise. She's only just started. At the time I'm recording this, I think she's got about 35 subscribers. And I just thought, I just liked everything that she was putting out. She's a young girl that works in agriculture, and we don't see enough of the women that do work in this industry, because there's a lot. So Toria's channel is a bit like a vlog, like she sort of just documents what she does through the day, puts like some nice happy music to it. She's always got a smile on her face, and I just thought, I've got to mention her. Got to mention her. She didn't ask me to give her a shout out, but I know we all as agricultural YouTubers do sort of like to stick together and talk about each other, and I just think it's nice that she's having a go. You know, she's having a go, and her editing's already pretty good, and she has only just started doing the videos. So I'll put a link in the description to Toria's channel if you'd like to go and check it out, and just let her know what you think, and I'm sure she'll appreciate it. Right, so thanks ever so much for watching, everybody. I think that about wraps it up. I hope you've enjoyed this video, a bit more of a technical look at some of the settings on the 1050. I did say I would like to do these more technical ones. Again, like I said earlier, I really don't think I'm the best tractor driver in the world. I really don't. I just like making these videos. And so I've also got my Facebook page I'd like to mention if you're new to the channel. If you are new to the channel, thanks ever so much for subscribing. I've got the Facebook page, Johnny1388 on Facebook. We've got the Simply Agri website where you can buy the channel branded merchandise if you so wish, or any sort of tractor merchandise. You know, there's cushions, canvases, mugs, beer glasses. There's loads of stuff that's it's going to constantly evolve. The website's always going to have new stuff put on it. We're trying to source some new products now to put on. So really, if you just fancy any tractor related products, whether you want a JCB fast track, a case quad track, or a Fendt 1050 with anything on it, just go and pop over to Simply Agri. I'll put a link in the description, and go and have a look. So, and thanks to the farm as well, because Polybell, I work at Polybell Farm. It isn't my farm, I work here. I'm one part of the team down at the farm. So if you'd like to see more of what goes on at the farm, Polybell's got a Facebook page, Polybell Farms on Facebook. But yeah, if you want to show the farm any love, please feel free. It's Polybell Farms, Polybell Organic. So thank you ever so much for watching, everybody, and I'll see you all on the next one. Bye! Bye bye bye! Bye! Tally ho! Forward!